welcome to Sadie's Spincraft. In today's video I am going to be sorting some Shetland fleece. I'll be picking off little bits and just getting it ready for washing, and I'll give you some little facts about a Shetland fleece that you may not know, which does come in handy when preparing your own. What else were I going to say? I think that's it. So we'll just stick with that for now. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know. So yeah, on to the prepping of the raw fleece. Shetland fleece. So I've got it all laid out best I can in my attic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out bits like this, shortcuts and bits with poop in. And I'm just going to go through and pick out what I don't want. Then I'm going to give the explanation of the little things you need to know when prepping a Shetland fleece. And yeah, we'll go through that. So now you're just going to see me go through and pick literally bits like that out of it. So I'll speed all that up so that you don't have to watch it all, because it takes forever. It really does. So that's just an initial. I've got round the neck, the two sides and the back near the bum. What I've removed is just matted bits around the neck, so where they've been eating, and dirty bits from around the bum. This is what I've kept. I'll wash each part separately, but I'm going to show you something right now, and I'll explain it while it's still raw, just because it's up to you then whether you want to do this process before you wash it or after you wash it. I'd advise after you wash it, but we'll show you anyway. So with Shetland, I'm gonna have to get my notes. Originally, before it was farmed, it rued itself, which means it basically sheds its own fleece. So it didn't need shearing until we began to farm it. So you have to shear a Shetland round about the same time every year, otherwise you get something called a rise. And let's see if we can just pick a decent lock out of this. So yeah, you get something called the rise, which is where the new bit of fleece is growing through. So at the butt end you will always have a bit that will pull off, because that is the rise of the new fleece, unless your farmer knows this and it ends up being sheared on time each year. This one seems to be all right. It's not too big of a rise, but this will cause pilling and yarn breakages and things like that. So I didn't know this the last time I prepared my Shetland fleece, which is why I had so many neps and everything within my bats that I created. So now look at that fleece. Now I've taken off that. So the reason I say you're best off doing this after you've washed it is because the butts, you need to try and felt the butts slightly, not too much. And if you use a mesh bag, it's a lot easier to keep your locks in form, but also get that felting on the butts, so that when you pull off your locks off the felted back, you leave the rise behind and you get a lot cleaner fleece through doing it that way. So yeah, that's the reason I wanted to tell you. No, it's not a reason. That's the thing I wanted to tell you about Shetland fleece, is about the rise. Any fleece that you get that usually rues itself, which is sheds its own fleece, you will get to a point where you need to sorry about that, I just got disturbed and I can't remember where I got to. So yeah, you get a rise and a weak point within the staple length of a Shetland or any fleece that does rue itself, which a farmer then shears, if you know what I mean. Well, anyway, I'm sure you get my meaning and understanding of the rise and the weak point and why this happens. So now I'm going to bag up a couple of bits of this, because I can only find 2 bags at the minute. So I'll do the 2 sides first, and then I'll do the back and the top around the front. That I might have to split into 2, and that I might have to split into 2. But we'll get there anyway, and I've still got plenty of second cuts to pull out. But that was just a quick once over, so you could actually see what I was doing. So I'll be back shortly. So the weather's changed and it's now raining, so first thing I'm gonna do is just wash a little bit. So we'll do this part together, and then when the weather gets better I shall do the rest of the fleece. So my first protocol is a cold soak. So this is just plain cold water. I'm just gonna leave this to soak. Sorry, I just spiked myself on a whatever bramble or whatever that's in the fleece. So you can see why I soak it, because you can see the muck coming out. So this is just what I do with every fleece. I soak it in cold water. So I'm going to leave that there for a good couple of hours, and I'll be back to put it in the hot water and the soap so that it can start its first wash. And I will do 2 washes, maybe 3, because it's quite a greasy fleece. And then I'll do however many rinses it takes to get rid of the soap. But I won't move it around too much once it gets into the hot and soapy water, because Shetland does felt and will felt if you are too rough with it. So this is why I'm doing this video. But this is how we start. Cold soak for a couple of hours. So I've added the soap and the fleece to the hot water. I'm just going to let the water heat a bit longer, and then I'll turn it off because I don't want it boiling. I just want it slightly warmer because I do have it on a slow heat. And then I'll show you when I come to do it again. I will do this process another 2 times, so I won't show you this bit, but I will show you it when it comes to the rinse. Okay. I forgot to mention that in this hot water I will leave it for about half an hour to 45 minutes. I will not let it go cold because I don't want the lanolin reattaching itself to the fleece. So I will make sure with these hot washes, baths, whatever you want to call them, that I end up removing before the lanolin reattaches itself. So I'm just pushing down on the bag to release more muck. Look at that, it's filthy. Ew! But it will be gorgeous when it's washed. You can already see the white. I'm not going to spoil it for you though. Right, I'll be back. So this is what the pot looks like after the second wash. Still a lot of lanolin came out of that. So I will add some more soap to the next one. And hopefully that will be the last wash and I can begin to rinse. So that pot is now on the heat, getting all nice and hot, and then we'll add the soap. I'll spin that in the spin dryer so that all that yucky water comes out, and I'm not adding it to this one. And it's really helping so far because it seems to be opening up those locks. They're not all stuck together when they go back into the fresh pot. They're actually opened more, and the water's able, and the detergent is able to do its magic and clean it all up. So yeah, I shall be back again very soon. So I'm now on the last wash with the soap. And as you can see, there's nowhere near as much lanolin this time. So I shall begin rinses after this one. And I really am enjoying the spinning the water out, the excess water out before putting it back in. It's really helping. So if you have a salad spinner or a spin dryer, take the extra time. It does help. So yeah, I'll be back again shortly on the rinse. So it's now in for its first rinse. There's no soap in here. And then I'm heating this pot ready for the last rinse. So although the way this is looking, it may not need it, but yeah, we'll give it 2 rinses because we can. And then we'll put it out to dry. I'll show you it laid out drying. And oh, it's so soft. So yeah, I'll see you soon. So this is the last rinse, and as you can see, it's just, there is no murkiness at all. It is a lovely clean water. So that tells me that my fleece is clean, or as clean as it will come with water. And then the combs, picking and the rest of it all gets the rest of it out. So, oh, that's hot. I'm going to leave that a bit longer. Look, you can see all the vegetable matter within it. It's still there. So yeah, next up is the drying process. And so the drying begins. So open it all up, tip it all out, and it's done what I wanted it to do. So it's felted the butts but not the tips. Oh. And this is why I've got this stuff here. So I'm going to pause and just sort it. And there we go. So that's it all laid out. I do believe the sheep had a bit of brown So there's me thinking it's really mucky and it isn't. It's just a different colour. So we've got two colours within this fleece. But I'm just going to put it all together and we'll get a beautiful cream with it. Oh, I can't wait. It's got a lot of debris in it, but that's joys of a Shetland. They're wandering into the bushes. So yeah, I'll see you all soon. And so, no matter where you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening or night time, I want you to do what you love doing and just, yeah, enjoy life. If life starts giving you lemons, make lemonade. Don't let it get you down. I know it's easier to say than do, but I know y'all can do it, especially if you can spin. Alright, love y'all. See y'all again soon. Bye, my beautifuls.